Hello everyone, welcome to Brain Blitz Audios. Today we're going to be reading a historic and wonderful story. The title of this story is Rosa Parks Sat Still. Now this story is present in Unit 3 of Kerala Reader State Syllabus for Kerala State students. So this story is an inspirational one. The biggest successes often result from the most difficult battles. Let's read the story of Rosa Parks, whose life was a battle for justice. On December the 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks refused to move, and this transformed a million lives. Rosa Parks had been working all day. Work had been heavier than usual. At the end of the day, there was only one thought in her mind. She wanted to sit down. But it was getting late, and everybody was going home. Rosa walked to the bus stop and got on a bus. There were many vacant seats. She paid her fare and sat down in the nearest seat. The bus was nearly empty. Rosa felt grateful. Her feet were very tired. They really need a rest. That was, however, something only Rosa knew. The driver of the bus knew nothing about her feet. He did not even know her name. But he saw that she was not white. She was a black passenger, and that, he thought, was all he needed to know about her. But he was making a mistake. It was a mistake that cost his company a lot of money. Our story begins in America, in a town called Montgomery in Alabama. Rosa was an ordinary woman with a job in a dressmaker's shop. The day was an ordinary working day. It was the first day of December in the year 1955. Rosa had a loving family. She envied nobody. Her manners were mild. She spoke in a quiet, soft voice. She always obeyed the laws of the country and broke no rules. But in those days, not all laws and rules were fair. That day, when Rosa sat in that seat on that bus, she had not thought of breaking any rule. It happened before the bus started. When the warning bell rang, passengers rushed in. Many of them were white Americans. Each time a white passenger climbed into the bus, a black passenger got up from a seat and moved away. The rule was simple and clear. Black passengers had to give up their seats when white passengers came in. They had to get off the bus and go round to the back door. They could then get on the bus again as standing passengers. That day, all the sitting black passengers gave up their seats, except Rosa. She did not seem to notice what was happening. A white passenger stood at the door and looked at her. Still, she did not move. She sat still. It was time for the bus to leave. But how could the driver start? A white passenger was standing at the door, and a black passenger was not getting up. Other passengers grew impatient. They gave her angry looks. They muttered curses at her. Rosa neither spoke nor stirred. She sat still. She was thinking, why should I get up? I've paid the same as the white passenger has paid. My ticket is not a cent cheaper than his, and I'm more tired than he is. And he's neither old nor disabled, so why should I give up my seat? He's asking for this seat because he's a white. That can't be right. That moment, Rosa made a decision. This rule is unfair, and rules out to be fair. If a rule is unfair, it out to go. It ought not to be in the rule book. Therefore, it ought not to be obeyed. If people go on obeying such a bad rule, it will stay in the book forever. So someone should do something about it someday. I think that day has arrived. Now, when Rosa did not get up, the driver got angry. If he let her sit and left a white passenger standing, he was breaking the law. He and his company could be punished for it. He got up from his seat. Get up and go to the back, he ordered. But Rosa sat still. I told you to get up, he said. But Rosa did not move. She did not get up. The The driver got off the bus and brought the police in. They arrested Rosa, said she had broken the law, and sent her to jail. The news of Rosa's arrest soon spread all over the town. The black people of Montgomery decided to fight for her to come out of jail. They knew they could not fight the police. They decided to fight with the bus company instead. They boycotted the buses. This means they stopped using them. No black passenger, they said, will use the city buses until Rosa is free. Instead, they went to work in private cars and shared the cost of taxis. The Montgomery bus boycott went on in this way for more than a year. It lasted exactly 381 days. During the boycott, the bus company lost millions of dollars. This was because there were many, many more black bus users than white users. Without black passengers, buses ran almost empty. Meanwhile, Rosa Parks was tried in a court of law. The judge ordered her to pay a fine. He said she had broken the law of segregation. Rosa's lawyers advised her not to pay the fine, and she took their advice. Then they went to the higher courts, and finally to the highest court, the American Supreme Court. The judges of the Supreme Court said that segregation was unlawful in public transport services. They said that it was against the law of the country. So it was that Rosa Parks sat still and moved a million minds. She began the black American people's fight for fairness and justice to all human beings. Americans call her the mother of the black civil rights movement. Civil rights are the rights of a country's citizens. Many years before Rosa Parks sat still in that bus, something else had happened in another country. A man called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi sat still in a train in South Africa. He refused to get off. The white passengers threw him out. There are many other stories of his courage and of the courage others got from him to fight for their rights. And that's all, folks, about the story Rosa Parks Sat Still, which is adapted from Rosa Parks' biography. Rosa Parks was an African-American civil rights activist whom the United States Congress called the First Lady of Civil Rights and the Mother of the Freedom Movement. Her birthday, February 4th, and the day she was arrested, December 1, have both become Rosa Parks Day, commemorated in both California and Ohio. And that concludes this story. For more such useful and interesting stories, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Brain Blitz Audios. We have a lot of stories. Some of them are provided in the description down below. Don't forget to click on the links and enjoy more stories. So until the next webisode, take care, stay safe, bye-bye for now.